baby, just 3 weeks to go. The rain is falling wildly, but the moon is still aglow. And tomorrow there'll be sunshine, and the garden will be green. We'll lay a bed of lilies for you to dream. My baby, just 3 weeks to go. Your mother's singing softly to the music playing low. She feels you from heart to knees. Her love for you is as deep as the sea. You have my word, as the earth, as the sun, as the water, as the rock. There is no question, there are none. You have my word, as the branches have the sky, as these lungs take the air. There is no question of why my word is good. My word is love. My baby, just 3 weeks to go. The house is a buzzing with anticipation for you, you know. From the inside to the outside, the faces here, they glow. Girl, you're welcome here, it's more than you know. You have my word, as the earth, as the sun, as the water, as the rock. There is no question, there are none. You have my word, as the branches have the sky, as these lungs take the air. There is no question of why my word is good. My word is love.
This will be the last piece of sandpaper that I use in the edge sander. My patience is wearing thin with that machine. Everybody thinks I always go and I don't get upset, but I'm telling you right now, I'm upset.
Wish I was better at everything I have ever tried and failed to be. I wear every letdown, I show every scar, and I found that hope can only carry you so far.
Frustration level is all-time high right now. I'm gonna take a break, bring the sander back, and you know, we'll get this done one way or another. We'll get it done. just sanded that whole spot by hand. It looks good, but I never want to do that again in my life. Yeah, so, you know, it turned out good. This room in here is the only room that I pretty much use the edger for. I used it off and on, I guess, in this room, but I really hated the edger. I don't want to give that edger a hard time, but it sucked. And I don't know if it's just because it was old. I tried both ways, right to left, left to right. I tried to go back and forth. I was not putting pressure onto it. It just kept blowing the paper out. Anyways, I gotta get going. I've been here for a long time. Tomorrow we'll fill some holes and then just a little bit more sanding from there, and we're gonna get on to doing whatever finish we decide. I don't know what finish we're gonna do yet though. It's really just, it's up in the air. That's it for today. So, see you tomorrow. We're to the point where we're gonna start kind of filling the little holes that are in the floor. Right up until this morning, Sarah and I were still going back and forth on how we wanted to do it. In my head, honestly, when I look at it, it doesn't seem like there's that many. So I was like, why don't I just drill them all, make pegs, and peg it? Because the pegs, they're easier to camouflage. Not that we're trying to hide things, it's just, they really blend nice, they look good. And I think they're ultimately kind of fast and easy. I guess what we came to the conclusion is that though it doesn't look like there's very many holes to plug, there are. And so we came to the conclusion that we're going to use the epoxy that we've used before. It's a 2-part from West Systems. Pretty easy to use in the sense that it's like, you know, 1 squirt from each thing and you're off to the races with a perfect mix. I've been keeping some of my sawdust as I've been going too. This is a very good example of what these are going to look like. Okay, first things first, I need to vacuum all the holes. And then I'm going to get mixing up the epoxy. And we'll do Lily's room first since I'm here. And we'll just see. I don't know. I'm gonna stop in Lily's room. I want to let this dry for a week. I want to come in and see if these are like really good and set up in the holes. And then I also want to see how hard it's going to be to sand off that little bit that you can see that gets on top of the wood. There's no way for me to put it in those holes without getting a little bit on the wood. I was trying to be as careful as possible, but as I was doing this, well, I should say halfway through, I kind of had a flashback of the windowsills. Let me show you. Hard to see because of all the dust, but it was, oh yeah, like right here, it was, you can't see it, but it's kind of shiny right here where the epoxy is on top of the wood, but it's shiny where everything else is really flat and matte. And that's the flashback I had. So then I was like, oh man, could you imagine if each one of these spots I just filled ended up being like a shiny little spot? That's a nightmare. So what I'm gonna do is wait. I know I'm really milking this floor up here, guys, for videos, and I apologize. Sometimes I really think that I should just skip a week because I feel like not a lot of progress gets done, but I can't really rush. I can't really rush the process for the sake of putting out a video that has more things being done. And as I said before, I really like to share the weekly progress because I think it gives more of an honest opinion of how long it takes to renovate, how long it takes to use salvaged material. And I just like some of you quite a bit, and I like to say hi every single week. That's the truth. Not in a hurry, and there's some other things I kind of want to do. So let's just go do some other things. One thing that I need to do, and I've been putting it off, is I just had my electrical inspection. Everything passed, obviously. I've got my sticker. But breaker number 8, it's the basement breaker. I don't know why, but I stole power from the basement breaker and I put in one outlet upstairs that's technically in the living room. And so because of that, I need to replace this cheap $7 breaker with one of these expensive $57 breakers. This is a arc fault protected breaker. You can see a lot of these are these $57 breakers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. Any outlet that's in any like living space that you spend a lot of time in, I guess, has to be one of those. So anyways, number 8 needs to be switched around, so I'm going to do that. And then I can take a picture, send it to the inspector, and I'm sure, you know, I'm sure he's really wondering. I don't think he is at all, but I'm going to do it anyways because he told me to. I think instead of recording myself doing this, I'll just do it. So I wasn't going to record this, but I feel like it's recordable. It's something to share. I put the new breaker in the box, the arc fault breaker, and it instantly tripped. And I was like, weird. And I reset it, tripped again. Weird. Anyways, after a little bit of testing, going around with my little tester, ow, this, if you can see it, you can't see it, sorry. You just plug it in. You plug it into every outlet, and it tells you if it's good or whatever. So on this one, I have the breaker off. It was giving me, it said hot, neutral, reverse. I thought that was interesting. Oh, I'm an idiot. That's what it is. I have the neutrals. I have both neutrals hooked to the hot side. Okay, so anybody out there that knows power, how does this still work? Because it's still powered like everything. I've used this for the light. I've used this for the dust collector. But I clearly have the neutrals on the gold side or the brass side, and they're not supposed to be on that side. They're supposed to be on the other side. So we're gonna switch these, and I'm hoping that's all I got to do, and then hopefully that breaker will work too. So let me switch these real quick and then I'll tune you back in. The basement breaker's on, the new one. So when I flip the main breaker, this should stay on. Shoot. Okay, so it's still not working. Wow. Wow, wow. Wow. Okay, well, let's keep diagnosing. So right now the breaker's on and it's working great. Watch what happens when I flip this light switch on. Yeah, that's not right. All right, so it's working fine. I mean, the lights aren't coming on because the lights are right here. Okay, this is really narrowing it down now. Now I'm gonna go find some new bulbs. I just stared at that light bulb and it about blinded me. I'm gonna go find some new bulbs. Let's see what happens. Seems fine. It's probably gonna be this one because it's gonna be the hardest one to reach. Interesting. Seems fine. Okay. It's one of these bulbs. And I betcha it's this one. If I screw this bulb in here and it pops the breaker, then we know it's this bulb. Boom. Problem solved. And I bet you this bulb's fine. Let me go throw the breaker back on. Oh. Okay, it still popped. And now I'm kind of confused. That bulb works by itself. Something's not right here. So, when one is on, it's fine. When both go on, it pops. That's interesting. And a problem that I've never seen. Oh, I have it fixed. The electrical issue, if that's where I left off. I gotta be honest, it's been real weird today. For instance, that old light right there, I could have the power on and have 2 of those light bulbs screwed in and working. The minute I put 3, well, it would pop the breaker. It didn't matter what 3 either. It could be any of the 3. And any 2 would work. Believe me, I tried all the combinations. It made me think that the light was incorrect. So then we took the light down and bypassed it. And then the whole, in the doorway here to the basement, it did the same thing. 1 light bulb would work, but when I did the second, it would pop. Couldn't tell you why 2 light bulbs would work and 3 wouldn't. And it was nothing to do with the light. The light, I tested it. The light works good. All I can think is this, and you electricians out there can tell me if this is even possible. I think one of my outlets was wrong. I think I had something touching something when I crammed the outlet into the box. I think something touched something that it shouldn't have. But it was touching, but it wasn't wrong enough to where things worked. But then the minute I started drawing a little bit too much power, you know, that 3rd light bulb, well then that was too much and it would pop my breaker. Is that a thing? I've learned a couple things with YouTube, and one of them is to never really talk about electrical issues because you got a lot of people that will criticize and tell you that you did it wrong, but they never tell you how to do it right. I'm open for discussion here, and I'm going to put this in the video. If you know, or if you think you know why that was happening, I'd love to know. If you have a question, let me know. And it is working. Everything's working fine now. I mean, I went around with my voltmeter and I tested everything. So everything is great. Everything's great except for my morale, I think. There will be better days. I think in general my videos are like this with my emotions. Start something new and you're scared and and you're all timid and then you do it and you figure it out and you finish the project and you feel great. Then you find a problem and it's 6:30, so been here for a long time. I usually leave by 3. Yeah. If somehow I make a video this week, this will be the end of it. I really feel like I should skip because I didn't do anything, but we will see. But that's it. That will do it if I make a video. If you watched this whole thing till now, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not talking to a camera for myself here. I really like sharing, and I'm glad that some of you find this interesting to a certain degree. But that's it. I gotta go. I'll see you all next week, and I hope, and I really hope that I get more done. So, until then, hasta la vista.